Guys, I'm just excited and my elation has really gone to the next level after Fabrizio Romano has revealed to us that United have gone ahead to agree personal terms with Cucurella on a transfer deal. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Smash the like button close to 400 times and don't forget to obviously hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel after you subscribe. We want to hit 16,000 subscribers before the end of this month. And people are saying, Rokani, are we going to make it, guys? For me, ever since I grew up, my optimism has always been high. And I've always gone ahead to obviously dream for the biggest. Now, I believe we are going to hit this. And with you, we can hit this. So guys, go into the lower right bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Cucurella to Man United, buzzing. Rio Ferdinand throwing in defense to Bruno Fernandes. Remember, very many pundits came out and obviously slated him after the game of Nottingham Forest, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Tottenham Hotspur because of his reaction, especially after the game. And Wan Bissaka has gone ahead to put in what we call a Champions League charge, and he has gone ahead to explain to us what it means for him to be available and part of that squad of United that is going to play in the Champions League. So let's start it off from here, and we thank God for the gift of life. We cover ourselves with the blood of Jesus Christ and everyone who is part of this channel, and let's continue to spread love over hate. To my Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikun, and I thank you for always making it a point being onto this beautiful channel that brings you 100% Manchester United news. Now, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and really confirmed to us that he understands Man United have reached an agreement in principle with Cucurella on personal terms. Green light arrived on the player's side. Man United won't negotiate for any other left back now, as they want to get Cucurella deal done with Chelsea as up. Now, this is one of the deals that is really so much into the glass, because when you ask about the personal terms of Cucurella to Man United, you all know the most important thing, that it's a long season loan. It's going to be a long season loan that United is obviously vying to see to it that Marc Cucurella comes in at Old Trafford and plays for Man United for the remainder of the season. That is a given. That is the hugest of all, and we all understand that it's going to go that side. Not so? Now, the others, whether with a mandatory option to buy or no mandatory option to buy, will be told later. You know, whether United is going to be paying the full salary of Marc Cucurella or not, that is going to be known, I think, by the end of today. So that shows you that the most big personal term we know is that United want him in a long season loan from Chelsea, and they've gone ahead to argue lots of things. And it looks like the player is convinced to come in through and obviously play for Manchester United. What a quality player that has gone ahead to obviously move from Brighton to Chelsea, and his debut season was a mess. So Cucurella is a player that I've obviously loved. And if I've been watching this channel way back from 2020, I've always come out and really told you that I would love to have Marc Cucurella as a competitor for Luke Shaw. That is, though he went in for a high cost that Brighton cashed in out for him cashed him out for him to Chelsea. He's really a brilliant player, and I anticipate that this is going to come to pass, and this deal is going to obviously reach a level that is not going to obviously gate what we call a setback or a U-turn. So Marc Cucurella personal terms have gone ahead to be agreed, and image rights, things concerning that have been done. And the beautiful bit of it is that green light has been issued on the side of the player. Green light has been issued on the side of the player, that is from Marc Cucurella. It's gone ahead to green light United to obviously go ahead and obviously talk to Chelsea, because the player is 100% okay with the move. So that is great, and a very huge story that Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to obviously tell us what we never knew about that. But it's a very huge story he broke. Laurie Whitwell, correspondent of Manchester United for The Athletic, confirmed to us that it is said Chelsea want a payment of £7 million to let Cucurella go for the season, which is a figure Man United wouldn't countertest. Negotiations are ongoing. Now, United are negotiating onto the £7 million loan fee that Chelsea have gone ahead to put on the head of Marc Cucurella to cross from Chelsea to Man United. And this would be very naive of Chelsea to not dance to the tunes of Man United of accepting like £3 million or 4 as a loan fee for Marc Cucurella, because Chelsea will call in for United paying his full salary. I don't know if they're going to agree on it or not, and very many more other terms. But the most important bit of it all for Chelsea is one thing. Marc Cucurella is going to be performing at Manchester United and playing for the club of Manchester United, meaning that you have a chance to obviously recollect the amount of money you paid for Marc Cucurella from Brighton to Chelsea, and just let him go to Chelsea and enjoy his shine. Now, through enjoying his shine, that's where Marc Cucurella is going to obviously get back in the shop window, especially into the summer transfer window of 2024, where we believe that Marc Cucurella is going to obviously be one of the hottest assets. Why is he going to be one of the hottest assets? Luke Shaw is out for some long time. Malacia is out for some long time. And Malacia is yet to return in 2-3 weeks. But even if he returns, that doesn't mean that Erik ten Hag is going to give him what we call immediate game time. That is it. So, Cucurella, who has not been injured, did the preseason with Chelsea, although he hasn't yet played any minute for Chelsea ever since this Premier League season started, doesn't really need to obviously be weighted to fit in the system, because he's just a left back and he can be played as a left back, meaning that he is a player who can obviously be integrated in the team of Man United immediately. That offers good to Chelsea, because this player is going to be visible. Playing for Man United puts you into the visibility. Champions League football is a variable. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Premier League, meaning that there are lots of games where Marc Cucurella is going to come in through and obviously play part into the season of Man United, and that might see Chelsea even get £60 million out of the sale of this player, if at all this player really hits the ground running, of which I believe he's going to hit the ground running, because United is a side that at least has much possession of most of the teams they're going to play against, and he's going to give United what we call a wide half space reference, as he's a press resistant player, and you just can't wait to see him playing on the left back alongside Lisandro Martinez playing on the left side of the central defense, because these two players are really press resistant. And this is good news to Andre Onana, because for him in his history, he has always wanted to be playing alongside players who are really press resistant. So that is really a very huge aspect of life, and us going into this ilk is really something great. So let's wait and see how that pans out, but I don't see us paying £7 million that Chelsea are really calling in for, because this is a chance for Marc Cucurella to get the shine throughout the season, and then Chelsea can recollect at least £50 million from the amount of money they bought him from Brighton, because Pochettino is not willing to obviously reintegrate this player back in his team. And by the way, even it can help Chelsea on the other side, because he can come in through and put in performances that are going to entice the side of Mauricio Pochettino. That is it. And Pochettino will obviously come out and obviously tell him that, please, your services are needed at Chelsea. Like, look at Levi Colwill. When he was at Brighton, he put in a very good performance, and this is when he got his starting side or his starting position back at Chelsea. So it might act well for Cucurella and Pochettino, and I think this is one of those things that shouldn't really let go. Now, leaving that at that, let's encounter the story of Bruno Fernandes, and the critics have gone ahead to attack him left, right, and center. But guess what? Rio Ferdinand, one of the legendaries of United, have gone ahead to see he has played in 3 Champions League finales for Man United, won 1 and lost 2 towards Barcelona in 2009 and 2011. Is it 2010? Then he has won close to 5 Premier Leagues. He has an FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Club World Cup, Super Cup. He has won everything that a player would have wanted to win at Man United at the club. And he has gone ahead and obviously issued defense for the captain of Manchester United. And remember, he was too once the captain of Manchester United. Rio Ferdinand had the following to say. Bruno was criticized a lot last week. I sat there with my mouth open, thinking how dare these people talk like that. He's the most creative player in this stage of the season. Since he arrived at the club, he has surpassed other players in terms of goals, chances, and assists. Now, this is where I don't understand the English media. How do you go for Bruno Fernandes, yet he's responsible for the only goal that we scored against Wolverhampton Wanderers that saw us really getting what we call 3 points. Remember, he chips that ball towards the byline, and Wan Bissaka just lifts it with his right foot, and it finds the unmarked Rafael Varane in the mouth of goal and heads it home. in the game of Tottenham Hotspur, he misses out on the most clear-cut chance of the game. But in the game of Nottingham Forest, he gets back and makes or accomplishes the comeback. The first goal, he was responsible for the shot that that deflected from the goalkeeper. Martial played in Rashford. Rashford does a cutback. Well, a cross, it finds Eriksson, bang, into the back of the net. Second goal, he starts the free kick to Rashford. Rashford finds him on the far post. He heads it to Casemiro, bang in to make it 2-2, and then he scores the penalty. You know, he is really very creative, and the media is going at him. And sometimes, when you're a captain, you need to be ruthless, and that's what Bruno Fernandes is really doing. You need to be an example of really what you want your fellow players to be doing on the field of play, because United has always had a problem of having Harry Maguire as its captain, because Harry Maguire has always not met the standards of this club, of Manchester United, because he was the worst player, or he was the worst performing player on the field of play, and you cannot be a worst performing player on the field of play and then you be involved into choosing other players or motivating them, because it's you costing the club. Bruno Fernandes came out in the game of Tottenham Hotspur and said, I want to see John Moss come to our dressing room and apologize for that, because the penalty of Man United was really rejected, because Garnacho's ball was deflected intentionally on a hand of from the hand of Sergio Romero, and it was intentional because that hand of Sergio Romero was out of the natural position. So putting out such a statement forced this referee, who officiated the game of Nottingham Forest, to easily hand the Marcus Rashford penalty over to us. You understand? If it wasn't the case, wouldn't have gone ahead to obviously maybe get one. So people are trying to do this because they are trying to expose Bruno Fernandes as not being fit to be the captain of Man United in favor of an English 80 million pound flop at Manchester United, and that won't work. It's not going to work. Bruno Fernandes has a thick skin and is ready to obviously prove you people wrong. And being a club of Manchester United is motivating him to become a better and better player, to obviously take us to where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. So I'm really happy that Rio Ferdinand has gone ahead and obviously threw in defense for this player of Man United, the captain, because this is what you need to hear. Last year, Gary Neville came out and put out a stupid story as we lost 7-0 at Liverpool, Anfield, that Bruno Fernandes was calling him to leave. You know, it was really very ugly of a former captain of Man United to falsely accuse Bruno Fernandes, and he never came out on live TV, you know, that he used to obviously throw in that allegation to obviously revert it back. You know, I think there is an agenda to target Bruno Fernandes and frustrate him such that he doesn't really perform well in his first spell as a Man United captain, but I believe he's going to prove you wrong and is going to hit the ground running as a United captain. 1 goal in, 1 assist so far this season, and I think he's going to obviously offer more to the club of Man United. Now, Wan Bissaka has gone ahead and obviously thrown in his Champions League charge. He says, the Champions League, it's a competition that we are going to try to win. The draw, no game is easy, but we have to be ready no matter who the opponent is. I think it's like that's what you have to see things. So, obviously the draw is not going to be easy because even if you're in the second pot, it doesn't really... So even if you're in the first pot that United isn't in, that doesn't put you in the ilk to obviously think that's going to be an easy one. So, the draws have obviously been so much tough, and we might find ourselves in a draw that has PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester United, and maybe another team coming in from Turkey. You get? So, it's not going to be an easy draw, but all I want to let you know is that I think we are going to perform beyond the ordinary. I've always told you that if at all Erik ten Hag was at Ajax without the quality that he's having right now at Man United, and saw himself knock out teams like Real Madrid by the time it had the cream de la cream of players. They knocked out Juventus, and which other team? They knocked out like 3 teams that were really elite. Trust me, if he's having that crop of players, we might go far, as Erik ten Hag has shown us that when it comes to knockout tournaments, if at all he's having his players fit, he can obviously try to knock out these teams from the so-called knockout stages. So Bissaka has gone ahead to improve his game, and I'm happy for what he's putting out on a field of play. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Cucurella. Personal terms agreed in between him and Man United. And then, what do you make about Rio Ferdinand throwing in defense for Bruno Fernandes and Wan Bissaka putting in his expectations about the Champions League? Rock and David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God see you through all this. And my Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikum. Ciao.